Trojan, and welcome back to Gaming Hexa, to what is now episode 11 of our Star System Survival. I'm at the point now where I'm thinking of evolving this a bit up to a spacefaring part of our survival series. I mean, yeah, it's all good and fun mining and stuff, and well, it's not really, but it's all well and good this part of the process, you know, getting the base together, but we've got a fairly well established base, you know, we're mining resources, there's not really much more we can do here. So I'm thinking to ourselves, what is my next step? I want to get to that alien planet, and I want to fight some bugs, basically. So I'm wondering why my sensor isn't working there. Don't I get close enough? Ah, there we go, that was it. So yeah, what I was thinking about doing was getting to this alien planet, but there's a couple of stages that are involved first before we decide that we want to get there. I mean, we're going to think about the kind of vehicle or ship we're going to need to actually land on there. How big is it going to need to be? Now, this is the first question I asked, and to be completely honest, it's going to be fairly big. I want it to be able to hold a couple of rovers, maybe this rover, either this one or one identical to it, and maybe a sort of transport one with a turret on top as well. So at least 2 rovers, and then have the facilities on board to sustain life, basically. So it's going to need the oxygen generator and stuff. It's going to be a fairly big ship, you know, if it's going to have a refinery already on it and an assembler and stuff like that, and then its defences as well. Now, building that on the habitable planet is going to be a nightmare. I'm going to be building scaffoldings all over the place like this, and it's just going to be very drawn out. So I thought the best option, and to keep a nice pace, would be we're going to build a bit of a platform here, just extend upon this one that's already here. Let me just get rid of that, if I can. There we go. And I'm going to build basically a rocket ship, similar to the ones that we have nowadays that launch stuff up to the ISS, or, you know, get drones on their way to other planetary bodies. So basically a facility to get us up into space, not any further, just up above the atmosphere, just out of the gravity well. So about 30,000 meters up, and then able to come back down again. And what I want to do is start to establish a space station, which is where I will build the structure, which is going to be fairly huge, that we're going to require to get to and to land on the alien planet. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on, just get the beginning of the structure up and running. It's literally going to be a few hydrogen tanks, the ability to process hydrogen, hydrogen thrusters obviously, and then yeah, that's it. So I'll be back when I've got the beginnings of it going, and so you can see it coming along. Right, so I'll be back in a mo. So guys, I decided to build off to this side of the base because there's just a lot more room over here, an empty space, we might as well use it. And I'm thinking of clearing that front up soon enough anyway. It's becoming a bit cluttered. So this is where we're at so far. Obviously we're just at the beginnings of it. Of course, like I said, I'm going to have to build a few scaffoldings and stuff for here as well. I don't think I'm going to make that jump. I'm going to try it. Oh, would you look at that. This is all it's going to need for now. I will put stabilising landing gear on the other sides once I've got the hydrogen thrusters on, because the idea is I want to put a hydrogen thruster here on this side and one on this side. 2 should be sufficient for what I need, and then I'm just going to build up in a straight line as though it was a proper rocket. I'm going to try and get this platform zigzagging up as we go so we can access the different levels, but obviously I might have to amend bits because otherwise stuff won't fit in. Might have to move this scaffolding onto this side because that's about as wide as it's going to get. So next thing we want is the thrusters themselves, so I'm going to try and get a few of them together, and I knew I wasn't going to make that. I'm wondering if it would have been just a better idea to build it as a small ship, but to be honest I want as much power to get me up there as possible, and I think I'm going to need the large thrusters to do it. So the extra large being the large ship, large hydrogen thrusters. So we're going to see if we've got the materials we need to to get them. 2 of them is all I should need for now. 2 of the large ones, and then we'll think about the smaller ones for stabilisation after. We'll get a look in here. I'm seeing atmospheric hydrogen, there we go. Well, it's saying the small one we have enough, the large one we may not. Do we have cobalt? That's the thing. Do we have cobalt? We have some, because it's saying we have enough to build that one. Well, it's important that we know where these go, so I'm going to have to build these anyway. And another one. And I'm going to quickly go check my inventory for cobalt. Also that in that connector. We only have 64 cobalt. Right, that's something I'm going to need to go work on, and then I'll be back when we're in a position where we can build these hydrogen thrusters. Right, so bye for now. Right, well, it's a short time later, and I've managed to get a considerable amount of cobalt. I didn't realise that the steel grids, it's actually, I think, the steel grids that were needed the cobalt. So I think that was a surprise to me. Luckily, on some of those outcrops out there, I knew beside one of them there was a lot of cobalt, so I sort of strip mined an area over there quickly and got some cobalt together, enough to keep me going unless I need some more soon. Metal grids, I need more, so that means I'm going to need to put up the other hydrogen thruster. Will it fit here, or are these blocks in the way? We'll see soon enough. I've put a conveyor up there also, you'll notice. Yeah, I'm going to need to move those blocks out of the way. It won't take long. I should build a platform up on the other side, and then I should have 2 hydrogen thrusters, which is the important part. I do think it come out just as far, so I think I should have the resources to just get it started and clean up my inventory a bit. I do. I do apologise as well. I'm not feeling entirely myself today, and you may notice the odd sniffle or cough, and I do apologise for that. I'll try my best not to be too annoying. In fairness, I should be able to pull it out from here. Can I get a lock on that? No. Tempted to just quickly grind out an entrance over there. Is it just the components left? What the hell with it? I'm getting a bit sick of walking in and out of there. There we go. We'll put a door or something there later. Metal grids. Did I not have enough to build the metal grids? I'm pretty sure. How many do I need then? I need 90. And 250, so 340. That's better. We'll just see if it did build them. No, they're there. They ended up in a small cargo container. Somehow. Which one is that? Is that this one here? maybe the connector was running out of space, and not the connector, the assembler might have been running out of inventory space and just pushed them out of the way. I'm assuming that's what happened. Which I'm glad for. At least it's going into this area right next to... It looks like it's pushed it into the closest possible inventory, which is a handy mechanic, if that's what happened exactly, I don't know. Right, the next things on our list will be, well, we need to get back up there again for starters. I could maybe start using the builder drone at this point, and I think that's what I will do. And what I want is, I could just put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 small hydrogen things on, and I think that's what I will do just so I don't forget. And then I'll start working on hydrogen tanks. And what I was thinking was, depending on the size of the oxygen generators, they might go in these little gaps just here. And I might have two, because if I'm going to be filling a lot of tanks, I want to be able to fill them quickly. And here. That's where the generators might go, and the tanks on top of, directly on top actually of the large thrusters. So there'll be sort of a gap in the middle where I'm going to need to, obviously I'm going to use that gap for like gyros and things like that, and reactors. I'm not sure to go with reactors or batteries. I think it's probably best to go with reactors on this build. You can see the cobalt at the top now. I have 6,000 ish, it's almost 7,000. So 6 hydrogen thrusters, and I will be back, and I think I'm going to be using the handyman for the rest of this build. Right, so we get a better idea of the direction I'm going with the thrusters anyway. I guess it's the same general idea that most people go with when they're building this, being such a cumbersome thing to build that you know, it's people so far I've seen people generally stick to the same sort of method of how they want these hydrogen thrusters to function, like obviously with the smaller ones attached to the sides of the larger ones, and it is easier that way, I agree, but be careful, I've already lost this grinder twice going too fast. Make sure everything's built up. That's lovely. Right, let me land this guy quickly, and then we'll go back inside, and we want to get the materials. I just found it easier to land this guy down here because I can easily just come and throw the stuff in the back like this. I know I could just move it across via the connectors, but to keep docking it and then coming out and down and getting back in the ship again, and until I have some quick access up onto the roof, which will probably be something I'll work on again in the future, and I'm not going to bother. Right, let me just... That'll take too long to grind them down for now, so I'm just going to put them somewhere else. Put this stuff here. This is stuff I've been finding in my connectors that I'm going to grind down at some point. Just easier that way instead of trying to find the small connector on the thing on the panel. So we want to assemble again, and we want hydrogen tanks now. Where am I going to find them on the list? There they are. Let's sort it straight away. But we should be okay for 4 of these. Is 4 too many? Just double check that in my inventory. Silicon. Yeah, it doesn't require that much silicon, so that should be okay. It doesn't look like it's going to take too long to build them either, so I'll be back. we have the materials we need now to build our hydrogen tanks. So we're going to get on and throw them in quickly. And you can see the rest are in this medium cargo container here. Didn't have to move them like that, just being anal. Right, so we're going to use our little guy here. Get into him, come on, there you are. We're going to put him into builder's mode straight away, and we're going to get the thing we need ready. So we want, is that center? That's center. 1. 2. 3. And 4. Right, we're going to switch back to build mode, the welder. Let's start at the bottom. We'll work our way up. It's only when you're on foot you can really appreciate the scale of these bloody things when you look back at them. I mean, this is only a small part of the ship, and of course it's the main part, but it's only a small part, and it's bloody huge. And that looks like it's a bit off center, which is unfortunate, but all I will do is, when I get this thing off the ground, what I'll do is I'll just move this over one this way. It's just a matter of repositioning the landing gear. I don't know how I managed that, but that's fine. So what I'm going to basically do is I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing. I'm going to add in the necessary things I need to get it off the ground, a power supply, and then I'm going to, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do first. I'm going to put the 2 oxygen generators on first, and I'm going to fill them with ice. And so it will, once I put like a solar panel on the side or something, just for now, it will, whenever it has the chance, it will process that stuff and start filling the hydrogen tanks, which would be awesome. So I'm going to quickly do that, and I'll be back when this thing is practically coming to its end stages, because it can be pretty boring watching the build, so I'm going to try and fast forward as much as I can for you guys. I apologise for the glitchy crap on the front there. This is what we got so far. I've just added a couple more hydrogen thrusters, there's a couple of gyros in there, a couple of cargo containers, a reactor, and I put the solar panels on the side so that when I put the uranium into this connector here, the reactors will start filling automatically. I've got the oxygen generators, but I've not put ice in them yet, and I really should think about doing that now. Actually, I think I will do that as soon as I have uranium in there. So I'm going to stick the uranium first. I really shouldn't. Where is it now? I should have access to a conveyor around here somewhere, and I'm really getting low on fuel in this thing, so it may even end up me having to move these hydrogen thrusters up one, putting conveyors in there, or some kind of access to the inventories, because now that I think about it, the forward part now is going to be the compartment where I'm going to be sat, and basically it's going to need an atmosphere to keep me alive. Seems I'm going to have loads of ice on board. I might as well have the facility to oxygenate my atmosphere inside the ship. And I should have enough cargo space to get the materials up that I need to get a station of some sort going, or at least a platform in space that I can use to build a larger ship. So I'll be back in a moment when we're squaring this away. Loaded up with the materials I need to refuel this, both the power sense and the rocket fuel sense. So you can see as well I've caused myself a bit of damage on the front, but it should be easily fixed with a new grinder and welder. Hopefully there's power enough from the solar panels going to this connector for me to get in. Tell you what, I wonder if I can land it here. Just do it by hand. Should be able to, don't see why not. Right, let's go down then. There we go. I'm just going to quickly load up the ice and the uranium into here, and I'll be back when the compartment for the compartment where I'm going to have the cockpit and stuff set up is all set up, and literally it's then just a matter of getting the resources we need together to get our first space station up and running. So I'm going to have to remember important things like obviously another oxygen generator for the environment, stuff like that, and vents, materials for vents. Most importantly, because there's pirate drones up there, we're going to need protection. And I think because it's not going to be just as simple as us quickly getting up there, you know, we're going to have to go through this whole process of refueling and landing this guy and refueling it to get back up there if it ever does come under attack. Luckily, it's going to be within 35 and 40,000 meters from this location, so we'll be within antenna range, which is great. So we'll have control over, we'll be able to see through cameras and stuff like that, and be able to control our turrets physically ourselves. So I'm going to be back when this compartment's up and running, and I've got most of the resources that I need to get together, and we're going to go from there. Right, well, welcome back, which was to me quite a long experience, but to you just a blink of the eye, as we always say. And here's what we have. Obviously I had to build this sort of platform up here to the left with this other platform on a rotor to get to the entry door up there. Of course, the other option was I could have just built a landing pad up there and just flown up there with one of the vehicles and done it that way, but I liked this way better. It's a bit more creative, I think, to get up there. Obviously it means if I ever land this here, it'll have to be in the exact same spot. I'll have to have some sort of marking, it's a way of marking it off to say exactly where it should land for this to line up with that. It's fairly simple, mainly designed just to get up into space and to carry some cargo up with it, so we can do some building, and that is what I'm on to next. You can hear my assembler there just cutting away at some excess components that I don't need, because I have made a list of sorts of things that I'm going to need to bring up with me. And let me stay out here for a minute because it's a bit loud in there. Basically, the basics of what my station is going to be for it is to sustain itself and to protect itself. So I've got things like the refinery and assembler in case I need to make components to make repairs or to build a large ship up there. I've got plenty of solar panels marked off to be built. I've got batteries, reactor, Gatling turrets, the ammo, the connectors are needed, flight seat, med bay, ion thrusters to keep it stable in space, and a gyro as well. Plenty of ice, which is the next thing I'm going to be working on. I'm going to start churning up some of this ice out here so that I have excess ice both on the launcher that's out here, and I forgot I put this door here. So I have excess ice on here. Is that assembly finished? Oh. No, it's not. I still don't have platinum. Obvious reasons. I've never seen platinum around here anywhere. It's obviously going to be something that's just up there in space. And what else do I have? Oh yeah, and I'll have to build the components for an oxygen generator as well, and that's all going to come up with me to start building on a station up there. Alright, so you'll have to excuse me for, I think, the final time before we actually launch this sucker, while I just start cutting away at some of this ice out here. I'm going to get my drone working away, trying to sort out some of this ice, just so we can have, we can dock onto the ship up there and fill that to the brim with ice, as far as the oxygen generators are concerned anyway. Fill them up with ice, because as you can see, all the ice that I took from the base has filled now all 4 of these hydrogen tanks. So we have got hydrogen tanks, and we have an oxygen tight, or an airtight compartment at the top that just has a flight seat and a cargo container in it for the time being. But another thing I might need to think about is if this hydrogen doesn't last me, which it should, but if it doesn't, maybe some form of ion thrusters to keep me up there while I'm working. But I'm going to give it a go anyway. It might be silly, but I'm going to give it a go anyway and see how we get on. If I can get by with just the hydrogen thrusters for now, as long as I can get up there, I can always add the thrusters later on. I'm going to bring enough components for 6 thrusters up there with me, and if I don't use them on the station, then I'll use them on this guy here. So, where was I? Right, I'll be back in a moment. Right, so I think we're practically at the point where the assembler has been churning away. I'm going to see if it's finished yet. It might not be, but I'm going to start loading things up onto the lifter anyway, and hopefully, what I lost. Looks like I've lost a thruster on this drone. I was just using that to mine, and I think I might give it a bit of a knock, because we know how much I love to do that. And let's level him up a bit. There we go. Get him there. Right, so I'm going to use this guy, if it'll let me. There we go. National dampeners on. There we go. That little light glitch we're getting, I'm pretty sure that only started happening when I activated the hydrogen thrusters. So, and I think that's a common problem. I've had it on in other situations as well, but it's only seems to happen with the hydrogen thrusters. So, in case anyone was wondering what that little glitchy light was. Right, let's connect up to this, and we're going to see our production. Ah, right. We may need to give the what we're missing. Iron, nickel, magnesium. It hasn't built any of them by the looks of it. And let it carry on doing what it can. But we're going to take. So let me just make a note of that. I need the ammo. I'm going to need that before we go up there, because then pirates can be a little naughty. I'm hoping we have enough of this reactor that it looks like it's churning out the pirates. It's nearly done though, so it's actually built a lot. Right, the reactor's going to be a problem as well. And the last few, this and that, was 2 landing gear. So let's see if we have enough for the 2 landing gear. Excuse my my blocked nose, I do apologise. Right, in the meantime, we're going to go inventory. It should have been dumping everything in the closest cargo containers. Yeah, it didn't even fill this one. You can see how much it's been building. Yeah, we don't have enough. It looks like we don't have nearly enough gravel for the reactors. Huh. wouldn't it build the ammo? We'll just load up what we can for now. It looks like we'll be able to fill up this little thing altogether because it's barely filled a cargo container. So let's go. Looking for the medium container on my ship, which is here. I'll take that. And all this stuff I'll take. I needed the hydrogen, that would have come in handy earlier. I'll take the oxygen. Screw it, I'll take it all. Actually, no, I'll leave that stuff. I'll leave that stuff, go, stay. Right. I'll just take the bottles for now. So, I'm moving from practically a medium container to a small container to a medium container. So if I just type in container, that should narrow it down for me. So from this one to this one. It's going to be a bit of a pain, but what a nightmare. It'd be nice to have the option to move from this to that, like the contents of, you know, it'd be nice. What was that? Okay. Thought I saw ammo then. Obviously I didn't. On a rolling mo. Oh. Right. My medium container can only hold that much. Oh. Okay. So it looks like we'll just have to make a couple of trips. Right. I'll be back when I've filled this guy up. Guys, I think this is my my last trip to transport materials across. I still have to look into the ammo and that, but I just want to get these last things across and as much ice as I can. And I did a bit of mining over there, as you might have noticed. There's a little trench going along there. I got about 100,000 ice out of it, close maybe 90-odd thousand ice. So that should be plenty to fill up these oxygen tanks on here. I had to have plenty in there. Have a look on myself. It's being pulled straight into its. You can see, where are they? It's oxygen generators. It has two, and one of them has 108. Has it already pulled all my ice out? I think it's already pulled all my ice out. So the oxygen generator can actually hold a lot. Full load is 108,000 kilos of ice, so that's not too bad. That's a lot of hydrogen regeneration. And the reason I done two oxygen generators was because I wanted to have twice the generation speed. I'll drop these in as well if I can. They should just fly in when they're empty anyway. They should just fly into the oxygen generator. That one will fly into one of them. There we go. And I'll take the full one back. Right. So we're going to hide the empty things. And we want to start moving this cargo across. So luckily these are within view of each other. You can hear my thrusters going crazy because they're losing mass, which is actually quite clever. Is that one? Right, we'll go to the next one. Soon we shouldn't be able to hold any more. Right, that was unusual. Oh yes, because they have a larger capacity than what I do. So it looks like everything now on my little ship is empty. Everything is now just on the cockpit. That's my cockpit. Will it move to here? Yeah, move them to the oxygen generators. Maybe keep one on me, just in case I need it. We're going to undock from here. Alright, I'm just going to leave this guy over somewhere else for now. I'm not going to dock him onto my thing. Let's just get a better view of this. There we go. I think we're ready to go. One last thing. Let me just see exactly why this bugger wouldn't build my ammunition. Magnesium I've got, nickel I've got, and I'm pretty sure I've got iron. Nickel, loads. Magnesium, loads. Iron, loads. Maybe it was just a space thing. Maybe I didn't have the space for them. Shall we, quickly, while we're here? Why not? Oh, hold on. That's the concept Gatling. Maybe I tried to build the wrong one. Ah, that would make sense. Although it wouldn't really, because I have silver and I have magnesium. I want this one. What the hell is concept? Turret ammo. Anyway, it's this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to bring 500 ammo with me. You can see that's going to take a while. And you can see it's being pulled away as well by because I have the team inventory manager sorting that out, but I can always just take what I need still, that's not a problem. See, there's always something. I was ready to go. I was ready to leave. What's the other thing I couldn't build? Reactor. I could probably get by without the reactor for now because I'm going to have like 4 batteries, and as soon as you build a battery it starts off with about 20% of a charge anyway, and then I'm going to have 12 solar panels, and as far as I can see it's going to be continuously in the light, so I should be okay. Although I wouldn't hold me to that. Right, what do I need for this? Gravel, silver, silicon, cobalt, nickel, iron. Maybe it was a gravel thing. Maybe, possibly. Let's have a look. The silver is very low, but it's 400. Was it? That's 400. No, that's a kilo. It's 0.4 of a kilo. So silver. It was silver that buggered me up. That's what it was. Huh. Looks like we're going to have to find more silver somewhere. Wow, I ate through that silver. Right, we're quickly going to check. Excuse me, first cough, couldn't avoid it. Where are you, ammo? Right, it's got 200 there. Maybe 200. 200 might be enough. What'd you say? Oh, I see, right. I think 200 will suffice. How many is in the assembler? Let's take them first. Go down to my medium container here. Then hide empty. Get that 200 there. Put them in there. It just took it straight back from me. Why, damn you. Give me some updated. Wow. Didn't realise I could hold 200 in there. Tim is taking my ammo away from me. That's what it was. If I quickly do that. How quick is he? He's very quick. Right, let's do that. That. P. Did we save it? Ha 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 ha. Yes, we did. Right. That was the last thing. I'm sorry it took so long, guys, but I guess this is quite a big step for the series anyway. We're going to be in space soon. Well, see Daisy if I don't crash everything first. There we go. Right. I have an option here. I could remove one of these connectors and put a turret on it, because it is a sitting duck at the moment. It has no protection. And I could always just replace it, or screw it if I need it. If I need it, I've got enough for 2 Gatlins in resources in the thing. So no, I'm just being pedantic now, if that's the correct use of the word. I have no idea. Throw you in there, and we get the other 76 and throw you in on top. 306 is just as good, and at least now we still have some left for our base to protect that guy. Right. We go this way. Yeah, it's still building the ammo away, so it doesn't matter. One thing I did quickly want to do before we flew off anywhere. I'm going to plug this hole. That's what I'm going to do. Right, so I guess this is the moment of truth. I hope I didn't break something. Well, if anything, it's more resources, isn't it? Every little helps. Can I reach that from here? Should be able to. There we go. Oh, it's a long way up. And yes, that fell from there. Not entirely sure how that snapped off, but it's alright. Where there's a will, there's a way. And that's not the way. Ooh, how did that not kill me? How much did it hurt? What? 11%? Surely if you fell from there that would hurt. Unless you were some parkour genius. Screw it, I'm not too worried about it. I know we got some hydrogen. Whoa, nearly flew over the edge then. Come on, there we go. Well, I guess I'll just have to do it by radio control. Can I control the platform from here? I can. There should be a rotor connected directly to the platform. Where are you? Rotor, platform, reverse. There we go. I'm so nervous. There's so many resources invested into this thing. I'll be back. Oh, there's no time like the present. Close these doors behind us. Right. I guess for now, just to free up some space, I'm going to put my... No, I guess I may as well keep them with me. There's no need to get rid of them. Let's sit in my seat. What I am going to quickly do is lock the other landing gear that is not locked. There we go. So when I unlock, they both unlock at the same time. I need to pull that platform back, don't I? So let's talk to the base. Here we go. Well, platform is now out of the way. God help me, this works. Please work. Well, guys, if it doesn't work, they can't say we didn't try, eh? Make sure my dampeners are on. And the hell with it. Antenna set to 50,000. Platform's antenna is set to 10. Let's remedy that quickly. So we're just going to give it a 3, 2, 1 because I can't wait till 10. So 3, 2, 1. We go. Bye bye base. Thank God this isn't one of those jobs where I forgot to put on the gyro, eh? Spacey, here we come. Bye bye mountains. Now the one problem with this I find is alright, I have a good view of my hydrogen tanks. They are already down to 3 bars, which is worrying. But even though it's only slowly, we should be topping up as we go. Base is just a dot there in the distance. Now I might need to just straighten up, point up a bit, make sure we're still climbing. And that we're not going in any other direction we shouldn't be. 8,000. I'm hoping these hydrogen tanks hold out, because if they don't, we are falling. We're still on 3 bars. I think we might do it. We need to get to 30,000. And if we get to 30,000 with still even just a little bit of hydrogen left in our tanks, it will top up. So, as long as we don't end up dead in the air and falling. Ooh, what's that? Oh look, it's the sun. We got high enough to see the sun. Let's just appreciate this for a minute. Guys, you have no idea how happy I am. This has been a whole day thing for me. So, I am chuffed to bits. I just had a really, really bad image in my head then of being ambushed by pirates the second I got up here. We're over halfway, so. Let's see how our... Still on 3 bars in every tank, so as soon as you start using the hydrogen it must drop down to 3. I think we had plenty of hydrogen. I think we could have got away with 3 tanks, but then again, where's the symmetry in that? So 2 now, 2. Well, that's good because we're over halfway. We've got we're actually 2/3 of the way, and we have half tanks left. So that's, if my maths is correct, that's good. I don't know. Yeah, that means we should have 1/4 of a tank by the time we get up there, I think, ish. Gravity is at 2 point. We could actually probably start pulling away now. Might turn off my inertial dampeners. And I could just coast it the rest of the way. I think I'm going to get to 25. Actually, I'll wait until I get to 25 and then I'll coast as far as I can. We're nearly there. We're at 0.18. I think we are fine. Dampeners off. We'll just coast it. We will slow down slightly. but it will get to a point where we will stop slowing down. And guys, welcome to the next chapter of the series. Getting down's going to be interesting. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Bye for now.